Jen from Jen's Extraordinary Life. Welcome back to my channel. I have something super fun and exciting for you today. Today, I am participating in a Sheet Pan Palooza with Sammi over at Managing the Maze. So I'm super excited to be part of this collab. I'm going to link Sammi's channel down in my description, and as well as the playlist to the Sheet Pan Palooza. So there's going to be tons of sheet pan recipes for you. I really encourage you to go check all of that out. But I'm going to make a couple of things for us today. And the first thing I'm going to make is super easy sheet pan quesadillas. Now, it's just myself and my husband today for lunch, and so I am going to make a smaller version of this with a quarter sheet pan, but ordinarily I would make this in a regular size. I think they're like 13 by 18 pan. You do want one that's got kind of a lip on it. You can see I've got a little bit of a raised side here, but I'm going to use the regular soft shell tortillas. Now, if I were making this in the larger pan, I would use the great big burrito size, but for today, this is what we're going to do. And we're just going to get started. Super easy to do. First thing that we need is some butter. Let me grab that. We're going to take our butter and generously butter the bottom of this pan. And don't worry, we're going to use the rest of this, so I have not wasted this partial stick of butter. Okay, now we're going to take our quesadillas, or our tortillas, flour tortillas, and I am just going to overlap them and layer them on this pan. These are the soft flour tortillas. We're going to put one on each end and one in the middle. I'm going to need another pack. I forgot that pack only had 10 in it. What was I thinking? All right, so to make this easy, I have taken some chicken that I already shredded. I like to prep my chicken by cooking it all up on the weekend and then shredding it and putting it in baggies, sticking it in the freezer, and then when I'm ready to do a recipe like this, I just pull it out and I've got my chicken already ready. I will link that in the description as well. It's super easy to do. We're not going to use all of this chicken, but we're going to use a good bit of it. And I'll use the rest of it in a casserole or a soup or something later this week since I've already thawed it. Okay, so I have put down my chicken, set this aside, and then begin layering this with whatever we want on it. So a lot of people would put black beans, you could put frozen corn, whatever on this. I've got kind of a picky eater sharing my lunch, so I'm going to take some of these green chilies. They are drained already. I'm going to put some of those on there. I'm going to take, I have shredded up about 1/4 of a block of cheddar cheese. Can you really have too much cheese? I don't think so. So you do however much cheese you want. This is not all the cheese I'm going to use because you're about to see that we're going with 2 cheeses. But this I already shredded. And this is extra sharp cheddar. You could use whatever you want. Then I am going to take a packet of taco seasoning, whatever favorite kind you like. I'm just going to use half of this packet because, again, this is just for the two of us, so this is smaller than I would ordinarily use. Right. Using a large pan, you would use the whole packet. I'm going to put a little bit of salsa, not a lot. I'm actually just going to put the salsa on one side because CJ's not a fan. Who doesn't like salsa? I'll tell you who doesn't like salsa. My man does not like salsa. But whatever. To each his own, right? All right, I have washed this cilantro and I'm just going to take and chop a little bit of it up. Oh, it smells so good. Put a little bit of that in there. Then, oh, I should have told you I preheated my oven to 450 degrees. It's not quite preheated yet. It's getting there though. I've got some of this shredded mozzarella. I usually shred my own cheese, but this was on sale and it was the off the block kind. I'm not opposed to pre-shredded cheese. It's just cheaper to shred your own, but this was on sale. So I'm adding a little bit of mozzarella to it. And then I am going to fold it up. So I'm just going to take the sides. Oops, I got this one a little over the edge. Fold those over. Take the ends. Fold those over. Oh, just kidding. I didn't need another whole packet. I just needed one. And we're just going to put one to cover that up. All right, now we're going to take some of this butter. And let me, about 1.5 tablespoons. I'm going to put that in the microwave and melt it real quick. All right. So we're just going to take this and coat the top. There it is. It's preheated now. Coat the top of this with butter. I'm going to take another pan. I'm going to take it and put it on top. And press it down. If only I were about 3 inches taller, right? Okay, so I'm gonna press it down really good and I'm gonna put it in the oven like this. And I'm going to bake it for about 20 to 25 minutes at 450 degrees until all of that cheese is nice and melted, and then we'll be back. Let me put this in the oven. Okay, I'm back, and I have just taken this out of the oven. I don't know if you can hear it sizzling, but so, oh yeah. All right. Okay, it's nice and crusty on the top. I feel like cutting it with a pizza roller is probably the best thing to do. Be ooey and gooey in there with all that cheese. You can make these pieces as big or as small as you want. Get that cut all the way through. There we go. Now, all that cheese is melted. You can top this however you desire. I am going to put a little bit of cilantro on there. I was going to put avocado all over it, but I did a grocery pickup this morning, and the avocado that they gave me is not even thinking about being ripe yet, so I'm a little sad about that. Definitely a dollop of sour cream. And I think I've cut up a lime here. And so I think it would just be so fresh to have that on there. You could put salsa on the top. Some people like to put hot sauce on the top. Just cut up some tomatoes, some lettuce, just whatever your topping of choice is. Whatever you feel like topping your quesadilla with. And that's it. Super easy, all in one pan, feed the whole family, or like this one is feed two, and it's actually gonna feed way more than two. As you can see, we're gonna have leftovers, so I've just made 2 meals for 2. All right, that's it for the quesadilla. I'll be back in just a bit with another delicious sheet pan recipe. Stay tuned. Okay, I am so excited about this recipe. This is my very, very favorite ever chocolate sheet cake. This is a recipe by the Pioneer Woman. I've tried lots of chocolate sheet cakes and none has compared to this one. So we're gonna give it a go here. There's several steps to it, but it's really, when it boils down to it, it's really pretty simple. So let's get going. In a mixing bowl, or I've got an 8-cup batter bowl here, you're going to mix together 2 cups of sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 2 cups of flour. There's 1 cup. And there's 2. So I just like to whisk it together because then I feel like everything gets good and mixed up. Oh, I do want to note that on this, I use an 18 by 13 sheet pan. Let me show you. The kind with the big sides, the tall sides on it. I don't always use this one. Sometimes I use one with a little bit shorter sides, and it's fine as long as you have a lip on there. Because if you don't have a lip, then when you go to put the chocolate frosting on, which you put on warm, it goes everywhere. You need a lip. All right, so that's good and mixed up. Then we're gonna go over to the stove because we've got to do some stuff in a saucepan. So let's get over there. Okay, in my saucepan, we are going to melt together 2 sticks of butter. They're almost melted. I've also, on another burner, got a cup of water, and I'm going to bring it to a bowl. Okay, I'm going to turn this, it's all melted, I'm going to turn it down to low. And then to that, I'm going to add 4 heaping tablespoons of cocoa. I like the Hershey's. You can use whatever kind you like. You could boil your water in the microwave. I believe for a cup of water it's like 6 minutes in the microwave to boil. But I just popped it on the stove top since I already had the stove going. My water is boiling, so let me add that. Pour that in there. I'm going to allow this to boil for 30 seconds. So I've turned my heat back up. I'm going to pour this over my flour mixture. I'm going to stir it lightly just to cool it off. It's a little bit thick. I've just added that all together. I just want to get it, it doesn't have to be completely mixed, but I do want to get it combined and cooled off. So you see I've got it pretty well mixed together. Now, in another measuring cup, I am going to take a half a cup of buttermilk. I'm going to add that to 2 beaten eggs, which I have already beaten, a teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of vanilla in here, I'm going to add this mixture all up, and then we're going to combine it all. I forgot to preheat my oven. Let me do that right now. You want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. I'm just basically folding that wet mixture of the eggs and the buttermilk into the other stirred up mixture, pulling from the bottom, making sure that I get every last little bit of the dry ingredients mixed in there. You can see now it looks like a chocolate cake mix. Let me grab some Pam and I'm going to spray my pan. All right. Got my sheet pan here. I'm going to pour all of this in there. This sheet pan has unusually high sides. I'll put a link to where I got it in my description. I like it for this recipe if I'm not keeping this at home, if I'm taking this somewhere. And this I happen to be taking to a potluck, and I want the I have a lid for this one, and so I want the icing and everything to stay contained. All right, so spread all of that in there. Then we're gonna pop this in there and bake at 350 for 20 minutes. All right, I just pulled it out of the oven. It smells so good. Can you see in this pan how there's a bit of a lip? That's gonna really aid us in this frosting. So the frosting is still warm, and all you're gonna do is pour it over. And then, once you get it poured completely over, you'll just take, I use the back of my spatula and spread it out while the cake is still warm. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. This really is my very favorite cake either. And I'm not really a chocolate cake kind of person, but y'all, this is the best cake ever. Okay, so that's gonna cool. I'm probably gonna lick this spoon, not gonna lie. That's gonna cool. Once it does, I will come back and cut a piece. I'm gonna serve it with vanilla ice cream. Breyer's is my favorite. You do whatever you like. I like to serve it warm, but it doesn't have to be warm. It's so delicious, y'all. I really encourage you to go give this a try. Also, if you haven't taken a moment to go through the playlist for this Sheet Pan Palooza, please go do that. Check out everybody's recipes. Show some love, share some love. There's so much good stuff in there. Again, thank you, Sammi with Managing the Maze for hosting this. I hope that you will go check out her channel as well as all of the others in the collab. So much good stuff there, you guys. Appreciate you stopping by, and I would love for you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Turn on those notifications so you can see when I post new things, and like, comment, share, all of that. It really helps me out, and I appreciate it. And until next time, I hope you have an extraordinary life. Bye-bye. Enjoy your sheet cake. So good.